Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic, and welcome back to another YouTube channel everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all back here together again. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another celebration of cinema review for Justice League, The Flashpoint Paradox. And I actually saw this movie a month ago. And I watched it to get ready for the Flash film that came out in later that month. Well, actually later that week, because I watched it a week before the Flash came out. But yeah, I did. And I was just blown away by it, because I remember hearing about, like, oh, Thomas Wayne is Batman instead of Bruce Wayne, and instead Bruce Wayne dies. Oh, Aquaman and Wonder Woman are causing World War III. Oh, and I know most of the story because of the Flash film and the trailers that they gave us. So I was kind of interested to see what this movie was all about. And so, plus it's part of this DC animated universe, which is the only film in that universe that I've actually seen. So maybe one day, if they make a new film, and hopefully I'll go and watch those other films. But with that said, let's just go ahead and start talking about Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox. So I think when it comes to the story of this movie, it really is a great story. And that when you kind of watch this movie, you just kind of pinpoint every single thing that this movie is so much better than The Flash. And, I like The Flash. I'm not going to hate on it, because I don't really see where the hate comes from, if I'm being honest. But that movie's not all that bad. Like, come on, just be real here. It's not that bad. You're just hating on yourself because you just want to hate it because of the bad CGI. But the movie overall is good. This movie, I feel like, just has an overall better story, where from the very beginning, you establish, Barry Allen is running somewhere, and then his mom catches him, and then she says this line that really means something throughout the entire film that Flash doesn't realize until he's older. That I thought was like just such a great way to kind of introduce the film. And then it fast forwards to the death of his mom, and then it cuts to Barry being an adult, giving her a flower for her birthday, as it's been many years since she's as she died. And then it transitions into a superhero fight where Flash goes off and fights some bad guys along with the Justice League. And it's kind of a weird comparison to make, but when you're doing a movie that's mostly about just one simple character, but it has the team name in it, this part of the movie felt a little bit to me like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I don't know if it's because at the time, and I still am, I was obsessed with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 because of the way that they made it such a rocket-focused story, but they did something so great with all of the other Guardians characters. I don't know. It's just, once the Justice League showed up, it's like, you feel the danger for it, but you also care about Flash at the same time, and I really love the way they did that. But just kind of in the way they did the multiverse story, and he did the time stuff, he did the superpowers, and he basically caused this whole universe where he turned Thomas Wayne into Batman, and Aquaman and Wonder Woman into World War III. Cyborg is working for the government. Superman is so small and weak. It's like the way that the story came together in this film. And then once you get back to the real world, it's really good. And then in that you give Batman a little thing from his father, and so I think that's what makes the film so good. So the story in this film is very good. Okay, so most of this stuff I kind of just talked about in the story part, but this movie has a lot of great moments. And I think this movie has a lot of great usage of the multiverse. Specifically speaking, as soon as you get to that scene where Flash is trapped and he's trying to break out of the thing that he's trapped by, basically, Reverse Flash says, "You can't save everyone even if you run a little faster." And basically causes that he trips over, and then he sees his mom, and then that's when you start to realize he's in a whole nother world. He just made a whole nother universe where his mom is alive. He's somewhat gay, because that's what his mom says, that she kind of knows, I guess, in that universe he's gay. But then you also kind of just figure out all this other stuff where instead of Bruce Wayne becoming Batman, Bruce Wayne gets killed and his father Thomas Wayne becomes Batman. And suddenly the Atlanteans with Aquaman and Black Manta and not Atuma, that's Marvel, and Ocean Master and the Amazons with Wonder Woman and all that stuff. Amazons and Atlanteans are at war with each other, and they're basically causing World War III. At the same time, you also got Cyborg working for the government. Superman, Clark is in like a base. You got Lois Lane suddenly like pinpointing all these different like gun soldier type characters. I think Red Hood was one of them. Like it does the DC universe in such a unique way where I feel like they had most of the characters in the DCEU to kind of do this. Like, sure, I'm pretty sure you still could have kept, like I'm pretty sure you still could have kept Michael Keaton's Batman. I still think maybe you could. I think you could have kept Supergirl, and kept that storyline. Maybe you could have brought in Cyborg and maybe work and did something for him. And Aquaman where they didn't go through their traumatic stuff. And then you have Lois Lane over here where she is leading the attack, and instead of doing that, but I guess they didn't establish them as enemies, and I don't know. I guess they wanted to play out Man of Steel, and I guess they could have also done the Man of Steel plotline a bit more excitingly. But I think the usage of this multiverse in this story was fantastic. And as it is a movie that is focused in the multiverse, and pretty much all the characters are basically different versions of these characters, I thought the way that they used them were great. Where, they're not our real versions of these characters, but at the same time, you care about them. Thomas Wayne's Batman, you care about this character, even though he is brutal as hell. Breaking Barry Allen's fingers, that is brutal as hell. Trying to kill this alternate version of Harley Quinn, which, by the way, voice performance, probably the best performance of Harley Quinn I've ever heard. She always does great, along with the guy that plays Joker, though he's not in this movie either. You also got Michael B. Jordan as Cyborg, which I thought was great. Even Superman, you kind of cared about him a little bit, as, he's this such weak character. You got Aquaman and Wonder Woman, where you kind of care about the dynamic that happened between him and them because of the stuff that happened with Mira. And then you do kind of care about the Shazam kids, especially when one of them dies. So I think the way they use the characters in this film is really good. And I think that the Flash story, the specific Flash story, is very good. Now, I kind of, much like the Flash movie that we got this year, I do kind of care about the other stuff just a little bit more, which is kind of like, if you want to be excited for a Flash movie, but it's multiverse, of course you're going to be excited to see a version of Batman. Of course you're going to be excited to see a version of Supergirl, because those are more exciting characters. That's kind of why I'm more excited for a new Batman film coming out. That's why I'm excited for a new Shazam film coming out, because I'm more interested in those characters. The only reason why I would want to go see a Flash film, now, unless they steal the trailer and they make it look good. Now, I actually want to go see Blue Beetle. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters, because I probably won't have time, but I want to go see it, because it looks interesting to me. But what I love about the Flash story that I think it resolves, hold up, let me go back to this, because if you hear background noise here, I'm trying to go back to the movie because I don't remember the line as well. But hang on, hold up. Okay, so we're here again. Okay.
Grandma taught me a prayer. Accept the things.
Alright, so she was like, accept the things you cannot change.
You cannot change. Have the courage to change the things you can.
Have the courage to change the things you can.
And have the wisdom to know the difference.
And have the wisdom to know the difference. And that line just perfects what Flash goes through the film. Like, accept the things you can change and be wise to know the difference. It's such a great line and really plays throughout the entire film as he learns that. Such a great, powerful moment. This movie is great. Happy 10 years. It's crazy that this movie came out in 2013 and it's now 10 years old. Most movies aren't 10 years old these days, but whatever. Hey, Frozen is turning 10 years old this year, so that's crazy, but that is my review for Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All my social media stuff is in the about section over there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.